All right, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Well, not welcome back. Welcome to the first and maybe only, I don't even know, auction showcase for my side business, Pin and Pixel Games. I do a lot of auctioning lately. I love kind of rare, just cool, esoteric game thingies, and I've made kind of a side business selling them on eBay. Not for a ton of profit, really. A lot of it is just to kind of save things that would either not be going to a good home, or worse, even just like get tossed out or put into a box somewhere but nobody can see it. Who knows? So it's kind of like rescuing a bit. If I break even, I'm a happy boy. So let me just kind of go through some of these things that I have real quick. This is to not real quick. This might this might take a while. Just if you guys have interest in some of these auctions, my eBay page is down below. Check them out. There's a lot of information there. I try to make sure everything is clean and tested and working and pretty. And I was about to break into like a West Side Story song there for a second, but don't mind me. Okay, well, let's just get started. I got boxes and boxes full of crap, wonderful merchandise here that I want to show off. I will start with this box here. Um, some of these are valuable, some of these are not. This is a Nintendo Super Famicom with a copy of Romancing Saga 3. This has been tested, it's ready to go. I was thinking about retrobreading it. I have a whole bottle full of, what do they call it, peroxide? Yeah, to try and retrobread it, but haven't yet, probably won't, too lazy. This does work, like I said. The ejection button is a little sticky, but I'm gonna go in there and fix that anyway. I think this is on sale on the eBay page for like 20, 25 bucks or something like that. There's not a lot of call for the old Sufam in the States, but let's see if you want it. Let's see. I have these are in no particular order, however I grabbed them. Box copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Got the manual, got the game, minty condition. Love it. These also not particularly sought after just because they're so common, but this is in really great shape, so I expect this one to sell pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a handful of stuff here. Here's a recent pickup. This one's called Style Savvy for the Nintendo DS. Normally not something I would pick up, but apparently, according to eBay price histories and Price Chaser or whatever it was, this apparently is sought after by collectors. I guess it was just a little bit more rare. Anyway, got the manual, got the game. It's been tested. All the information's on the eBay page. I think I have not screenshot, but like a picture of my DS running the game so people know that it works. You have a copy of Wii. Now, I don't really deal anymore just because I learned my lesson with disc-based media. I basically sworn it off. But this one I couldn't say no to, unless it's sealed. I have a couple of sealed ones I can show off. This is Pokemon Battle Revolution, which I've never played, for the Wii. Got the manual, whoop, and the disc is in very good shape. No scratches, or nothing major anyway. I don't think it needs resurfacing or anything. I know nothing about this game, only that we have the original Fire Starter, Twisted Fire Starter. Again, sort of going against my better judgment of getting disc-based media. We have Super Mario Strikers, Manuel, Disc, and this disc also is in very good shape except for my fingerprints. Ignore those. Might be a bonus. Who knows? If my fingerprints are worth anyone, or if you want to frame me for any kind of particular crime, you may do so. Let me get this one out of the way. This is an Pro 2 mechanical keyboard with blue switches. I had it out. It's LED. It's actually really, really pretty. I thought because of the box, it was just going to be like just a cheap, Asian market thing, which again, it might be, but it's really pretty. Very clicky, tested. There's some videos up on the eBay where you can see all the kind of lighting in action. There's this one mode where it's like you push a button and it'll glow for a second, or you push a button and like it'll light up the row and the column for a second as you do it. Anyway, it's really neat. I'm not a big fan of LED stuff or RGB or whatever, just because, I don't know, Call me old school. Call me old. Just don't call me late for dinner. Okay. More DS. This is Asphalt 3D for the 3DS. As you can make sounds, I got the game that's been tested, and I'm just gonna sing the rest of this video if that's cool. Let's see what else is interesting. I have a switch case. This is just as basic as it comes, but it's in great shape if anybody needs one. We got ourselves a little move controller. Now I do have also somewhere, like I sell these things for like $4. They're not exactly valuable, but I do have a PlayStation 3 console, I think is what these came with the camera and these move controllers, and I think I have a Kinect version as well, which is neat. So these are cool. I saw these all online. I couldn't say no, and apparently they are collectible. But I have them on sale as a set of 3 since I have Psyduck, Meowth, and Bobby, and then we have Meowth, Psyduck, and a little Poliwag, which is really cute. These are applause from. I looked up all the details about them, but they're in beautiful shape. I got them cleaned up. They didn't need all that much of it, but I gave them a little cleaning anyway because they're cute and they deserve it. So these have been up since day one. I don't even think I put these up until recently, but these are the Pixar, what do they call these? Infinity 3.0. I have no idea what these do. Zero, absolutely zero. Nobody seems to be particularly crazy about them, but if you guys are a collector, I have them. And that's for what? The Lost Dinosaur? Good Dinosaur. Good boy. All right, that one's a big one. I'll come back to that in a second. I love carrying cases. I have so many different carrying cases. One actually sold today, and I just boxed it up, and I wish I could show it to you. I kind of wish nobody bought it because I want it for myself. But we have a nice Game Boy bag. Everything's cleaned up, ready to go. Again, did not need much cleaning by itself because it came in almost unused. But God, I love these things. Actually, do I have any more over here I can show you? Yes, I do. Here's a blue 3DS one. Not as fancy, but again, it's in excellent condition. It's a beautiful color of teal. Teal is one of my favorite colors in the world. So, what else do I have? You know what? I'm just going to show you the rest of these carrying things while I'm at it. So this is a plastic Nintendo case. Got the Nintendo logo on it. Put your games in it. Put the controller in there. Again, it's nothing fancy, but I love it. It's something that you can like display like your collector stuff in. I think is really neat. I have a few more like that. So these are cool. Got the nice little Nintendo logo. I shined that up and it's very pretty. So these are much the same Nintendo carrying cases. It can fit 10 games, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can count. So I have the black alligator skin one, which I see on eBay quite often, but what you don't see very often is the silver one. I've never seen one on eBay before. Maybe I think there's one other one. Tried to shine up the Nintendo logo. It came out a little bit more silver than the original gas, gold, or brass. Again, 10 games in a box. Very pretty. Missing the handle though, which is kind of a bummer. But again, awesome way to display your Nintendo things. Here's some non-video game stuff, but just because they, are relevant to my interest. I pick up a lot of music stuff too, like Walkman and stereos and things that I can afford to have shipped over from God knows where. So these are ISOtunes Extra 2.0s, which are, I thought they were just earplugs. I picked them up mostly because they're OSHA compliant, so people can use these in construction sites or wherever you need them. Good bear, dust proof, waterproof, Bluetooth 5.0, 97. You know what, y'all? It's been a long day, and I'm doing my best. Got 2 of them. They are sealed, if you want. I just think they're neat. Here's one. I haven't cleaned up the case yet, but it is posted. This is Dewey's Adventure, which I've never heard of before. Neat little Wii game. Manuel Disc is also in great shape, minus a few of my own little fingerprints, which makes them more collectible, I guess. Again, if you want to frame me for something, you now have everything you need. This is just because I had it laying around. I never opened it, never used it, but I've already got a couple watchers on it on eBay. So if somebody wants it, more power to them. They can engineer their own bloody empire. This is a sealed hip gear for an analog controller for the PlayStation 2. Just neat. Comes with the... Oh, it's corded. Never mind. For some reason, I thought it was wireless. But again, just pretty. Most people prefer to have a OEM controller, but just as good. And actually, speaking of just as good, this thing, I just love the look of this thing. Now, with this Air Style here, I had two of them. One was new in box, and that sold pretty much immediately. This one is not new in box, but it's in very good shape. I give it a good cleaning and polishing, which is ready to go. Works just fine. It does not have the receiver, though, which is a real bummer. But if you happen to have a receiver, go for it. If not, you can use this as a display item. I don't know. I just think it's pretty with a little bitty bar. Oh, let's keep on going down the controller routes that are useless without their receivers. And this is the Acclaim Double Player, which was for no, not Sega. I think it's just for Nintendo, isn't it? Yeah. This one takes two AA batteries, which go in there and there. Then that would be 4, isn't it? Yeah, 4. 2 plus 2 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. Works great. Well, not that I could test it because again, it doesn't have the receiver, which is a bummer. But again, it's very pretty and just a part of gaming history. Oh, let's see. This is like some just. I have a ton of these like third-party aftermarket. I even have a couple of Mad Cats around here. Not going to spend a lot of time on those. You know what they are. You know them. You love them. You hate them. Here they are. Now, let me make myself a bit more comfortable here. Okay. Let's keep going through. A lot of this is more recent pickups that I've had. Here's another Nintendo DS case. Nothing too fancy here. This one's a really simple one, but I love black and blue. Back zipper. I thought it had a side pocket, but I was incorrect. Get used to it. I often am. Here is a copy of Aladdin for the Genesis, known for having great animation, but also great music. I usually don't like the FM chip in the Sega Genesis, but they did a really good job with this one. I think I have a box copy around here somewhere. If I don't, it might be still on the way, but voila. And here, I'm really shocked this hasn't been picked up yet because I had 3 of these and 2 of them sold almost immediately. Just cute little Kirby Switch case, just so cute. We only have 1 Switch in the house, and I got like a Pikachu case or something. I gave him the choice between that and this one, and he hemmed and hawed for a while, but I think he finally went with the Pokemon one because he likes Pokemon better. But I like Kirby better because I'm an old guy. What else is interesting in here? I think this went with something else, this RF. I don't know why that's in there. Beep, beep, beep. Here's just a little Activision flashback, just one of those sort of HDMI plug and play kind of thingies. Again, not really fancy. You can probably still find these things around, but I got them on sale for like super cheap. Stick a battery in it and be done with it. These are neat. These again are very situational, but these are extenders for the N64. This came in a big lot of other things that I had, so I think they're on sale for pretty cheap. And I think if you buy 2, you get a discount, I think. But anyway, it'll extend things by about 6.5 feet. Natural N64 enhancements. Who remembers those commercials? I do. This one I just got in a little while ago, and this one I think is probably going to sell pretty quickly. But these are the collectible coin set for the what was it? The 3D All Stars release? Yeah, there it is. So it's got these neat little metal coins in there. It is sealed, so if anybody is a collector of them, it's pretty neat. They are nice and detailed, which I like. Um, but I don't collect these kind of things, and that's where I run into problems with auctions and stuff, because I'll get these things in. I'm just like, I kind of want to keep them, so it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to let things go. Uh, what is this? This is a third party Xbox One power brick from Exyab, which is, well, it's a power brick. These are fun. These I have are a combination of, I mean, not like McDonald's toys. Are they McDonald's toys? Some of them are. But I just have bags and bags of these. Yeah, these are that one's from Jack's. This one, I believe, that's a McDonald's one. But I got a ton of these. This one has hat throwing action. Wah-ha! But we don't have any hats. We got a few little Donkey Kongs in here. This one's probably a Jack's one as well, but I don't see a stamp on it, so we'll just say, yeah, sure. And we got some Peach. We got some Mario Kart ones from, I forget which, what was the year? 2016, probably? 2014. So, I forget which Mario Kart version that is. Not 8. Was it 8? How long has it been? I don't know. Anyway, well, I got a whole bag full of them. I think I have 2 separate auctions for those going at the moment, which are kind of, whoopsie, thematically something. Anyway, yeah, I just, this came in a lot. I don't know anybody who has a V-Reader anymore, though I do have some Leapster games, a Leapster tablet and Leapfrog something or other, which I gave to my daughter, and she loves it. I don't have one of these VTech readers, though. But it's on auction if someone does. Just some other stuff. A screen protector for a Switch. We used one. We still got one left, so it's cheap. There's a neat one. This is a boxed copy. It's missing the sleeve, but it's a boxed copy of the Two Towers PC game for IBM and Tandy, and it's got the 3 1/4 and 3.5 and 5 1/4. Do I have that right? Something like that. But anyway, complete in box, manual, clue book, hint book, and other random documentation. Again, just one of those things that I'll get and I just think is neat, and I'll just put it up there to see if anybody wants it. So far, no one does, but here if you want it. And that takes care of this first bin. Oh, no, it doesn't. This is a game called Act the Adverb, which is an improvisational party game. It's a card-based thing that you can do when you're like having a drunk party. We've had this forever, never used it. It's on sale. I was like, I would list it for a penny if I could, but eBay says I can't list anything for less than 99 cents. So 99 cents it is. All right, so that takes care of this bin here. Oh, no, one more thing. Messed up copy of X-Men for the Sega Genesis. I just got this one and cleaned it up to the best of my ability. I'm of 2 minds when it comes to relabeling games, because you can order some really high quality adhesive labels for games like these. But I won't do it for ones that I sell, because some people are just like, nope, they're fully against repros. I'll do it for games in my own collection that I don't mind, but people say they would rather see a messed up label that's original than a reproduction. Sorry, the window's like right over here, and I'm just like, there's activity going on. They're selling the house across the street, so I'm just trying to look at who my potential new neighbors might be. All right, that's that first bin. While I grab this one, I just want to show you this. Now, only people of a certain age will remember the Illustrated Wildlife National Treasury just because of the goofy commercials that they had. But I found one at an estate sale, and it's got, I don't know, like a couple hundred or so cards in here, and they're just cute. It's got information about koala bears. Everyone loves koala zoological classifications. Anyway, I don't have this one up for auction yet. I don't think I might not sell it, but I just, again, I feel like I say the same thing all the time. I just think it's neat. Sorry. Okay, let's keep going on the controller route. So this is a inbox dual turbo for the Genesis. The box does not look great, but I'm telling you, you should have seen what it looked like before I got it. I spent like 2 hours trying to get all of this packing tape. It was covered in packing tape, and getting it off without damaging the photo and the pictures was near impossible. Like there's still some that's on there, but the controllers themselves are almost brand new. I got 2 of these. We have the pluggy thingy. Just plug them in there. One, number 1 and 2. Infrared. Click, click, click. Boom, boom, boom. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I did put batteries in these and tested them. That information's up on eBay. It's got pictures with lights on, which, you know, I just like to make sure that people know that they are not going to get ripped off. Not intentionally, anyway. And over here, these might be more relevant to interests. I have some inbox games. I have several more over there that I have not listed yet, so you'll be the first to see. This is Radar Rat Race for Commodore 64. Cartridge and manual is inside. Not that many people collect Commodore 64 stuff. This guy does, because I had a Commodore 64. And actually, I had a few more of these, and I sold them to a guy, and we had a really cool conversation on eBay about his collection and some other stuff that I have coming in that he might be interested in. Anyway, what funny thing is, I sent him all the stuff. I packed it up real neat. He received it, and the dude left me a review, which is positive, but he was just like, might potentially order from this guy again. I was like, dude, I spent so much time with you, and I packed it with love. Anyway, not that I'm bitter. New inbox, sort of inbox. Friday the 13th. Destroy Jason if you can. Not the best game in the world, in my opinion, just because it's made by LGN, and they have a bit of a reputation for being not great. Here's the back of the box. On the inside, you can see all the details on the eBay page, but it's got the manual, and it's got the cartridge, and it's even got the little like styrofoam filler thing that they always use down there. Anyway, everything's all cleaned up. It didn't really need cleaning up because it's basically mint condition on the inside. Box not so much, but on the inside, yes. This is a game I've never played. Stanley and the Search for Dr. Livingston. This one apparently is a little bit more in demand. Maybe just because it's a bit more rare, but same deal. It's brand new on the inside. Even the box is not all that bad. But yes, manual, cartridge, styrofoam if you're into that kind of stuff. Bam. Here's one that everybody knows. DuckTales. State-of-the-art and high-resolution version, which makes this a real collector's item. That's a lie. But you do save up to $10 when you purchase, well, nothing. It's been 30 years. But same deal. Complete in box. The cartridge is in mint condition, as is the manual, I believe. Styrofoam. You love it. Here comes Fabio. I love this game. I already have a copy of it, and it's over there next to my retro setup. But if you want to have Fabio run around in a Rare, did Rare make this game? I could have sworn Rare had their hands in this. I don't remember, but anyway, this the box is in great shape. I much prefer Iron Sword 2 or Wizards and Warriors 2 rather to Wizards and Warriors 1, which is really hard to say. It's been a long day, but it's Fabio. How can you say no? Anyway, this is one of my favorite games. I still have not beaten it. I've gotten close. I've gotten to Icefire Mountain, but I have not beaten Icefire Mountain. I built this half pony, half monkey monster to please you. Fester's Quest, a game which actually I've been looking for on my own, but for some reason they always go for more money than I'm willing to pay for it. But I did get a copy of this. Actually, this came in a lot, and I think the rest of those did too, of the King's Quest box that I had in that previous video that is up on the channel now. But same deal. It's a mint condition. This is basically Blaster Master, but with an Addams Family veneer on it. It's the same engine as Blaster Master. It's actually, this game gets a lot of crap, but I like it. I think it's fun, and I'm still looking for a copy of my own, but this is a copy that you can own. What else do we have here? What's it? Oh, yeah. I have a little bit of Pokemon stuff. These are card sleeves. This is, I forget the names of everything, but if you're into card sleeves, I think these are pretty cheap, and also you can get discounts if you order more, but the only ones I recognize are Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno down there in PE. Those are all new in package, by the way. Let's see, more new in package stuff. This came, I can't remember if I ordered this specifically or if it just came with another lot, but Game & Watch Gallery 2 has all the, well, not all of them, but at least 5 of the old Game & Watch handheld games on Game Boy Color, which you can also play in your Super Game Boy if you have one. And the same deal. It's in really good condition inside. It's basically mint. I mean, even the box is almost mint condition. It's in, I love it. But again, manual, cartridge. It's got the little paper insert cardboard thingy. Styrofoam, I don't know. So if you're a fan of styrofoam, I'm sorry, you may be let down with this one. So here's a recent pickup. I just got this one like a day or two ago. I was able to find it, and then I got this one all cleaned up. I did a lot of restoration on the box itself. I know it still looks like it's crap, but again, you should see what it looked like before. But I actually did some manual touch-ups on this one just to reduce the look of wear and tear with a blue that I found that was a really good match for this one. Like here, if you can see here, like this one's really obvious because it's such a big chunk that was missing, but you can kind of see that. But a lot of it was like, you know, around the edges, and like there's some here. And there was a lot like here on the side. And after I did retouching, you cannot even tell. And I'm pleased with punch or how well this turned out. And then I think inside you have the manual, you have the game, mint condition, and all that stuff. It's the text label, which apparently is a little bit more in demand, but again, not again, but people don't really go crazy for Atari games in this day and age. But there's a whole bunch of other manuals in there as well, besides the Space Invaders one. So just if you want to add some to your collection, information is on the Bay of Ease. This one's about to sell. This is Bakugan, Defenders of the Core. I know nothing about Bakugan, but I do know that it came with a really cool little action figure. They call it an action figure, but it has no action whatsoever. It's completely static, but it's cute, and it's called Tiger something. Sadly, no game in this one. I was really bummed to find that one out, but if you want as a collector, you have the box. You already have the game, rather, and you want a box to keep it in with a little tiger figurine with claw hands. Knock yourselves out. It's in really good shape. I gave everything a good restoration, but again, didn't really need it. Ooh, excuse me. A little bit of technical difficulties here. So this is like one of my very first pickups. These are the audiobook recordings of all 3 Lord of the Rings books read by Rob Inglis. And these are so good. I listened to them online, and they're so good. Fellowship, Two Towers. There's one CD missing from one of these. I think it's missing from the Two Towers. It's like one of the, like disc 9 or something. It's on eBay, so you can see with that one. But if the disc that's missing is available for free on like Internet Archive or something. So if you want to download it and burn it, or just do it, you can. Return of the King is still sealed, which I thought was really neat. Full box set. It's in wonderful shape. All the CDs work. Here's another Switch case. This one just picked up recently because I can't say no to anything with Link and Zelda or anything on it. Just your average old Switch case. It does glow in the dark, which is kind of neat. It's got that nice sort of chic look to it. I assume this is from Breath of the Wild and not Tears of the Kingdom. I never actually played Tears of the Kingdom. I watched like a Let's Play of it. Like I think I watched RT play it or something. I don't really have much want or desire to do so. Take with that what you want. Now, here's a bunch of boxed PC games. Some good, some bad. This one's called Task Force 1942 classic war game. This is for like, you know, 486. You got all the discs in there. There's also a demo disc for Greens, which I think is like a golf game or something. Not very exciting. But it's got all the manuals and the feelies and stuff like that, which I really appreciate. The box and everything was in really, really, really good shape. This one already got a few, surprisingly, good number of watchers on eBay. So this may not last very long. Speaking of things that will not last very long, Klingon Honor Guard is still sealed. It's got this flap here that opens up, but the box itself still is sealed with the factory tape, so I can't get in there, but I will assume that everything is in lovely condition. The box is in great condition, ready to go. I don't think that's going to last much longer. And then this one, like, I got offers on this like 10 seconds after I put it up. This is Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow, which is basically just like a badass Donald Duck. It's kind of like the Shadow the Hedgehog of the Disney extended universe. The bummer is that this is the the PC version, which is not as in demand. I think there's like a Sega or a Super Nintendo version, which goes for an insane amount of money. This one, not so much. But if you want a way to play it, that's not on console, here's your way. This one is open box, but it does have everything inside, documentation, all the discs, and all those groovy little thingies. It says Maui Mallard. It does. You're not fooling anybody. Here's a game that I've never really played before. This is an adventure game from Interplay called Mummy Tomb of the Pharaoh. Now, the game itself seems okay. It just, one wrong move becomes a great mistake. World War II, very Indiana Jones. But here's the selling point. Nobody cares about this game, but this does include Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster, which is a cinematic adventure game with Tim Curry. And I will do anything that has Tim Curry attached to it because A, I trust his judgment, and B, it's pre-stroke Tim Curry, and just eventually I'm sorry. I'm thinking like how much I want to watch a Let's Play of this game now. I do have it, like it's in here, but I don't know. I feel bad for using it before anybody else can buy it because technically it's not really my property. Anyway, it's open box, but everything's inside. Blah 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 blah. Honor Guard, we did that one. What do we have here? Chessmaster 4000. Again, not to sort out, but I did have a copy of this when I was younger, and it's actually really good. No, was it this one? There was a version of it that had like an animated hand that would come down and like move it, and I always thought that was really, really, really neat. Don't remember what, but again, everything's included. Box is in great shape except for this. What are you gonna do? This one is basically sold already, but this is a sealed copy of Zork Nemesis. Violence, nudity, and sex and language, which also makes for a fantastic adventure game, no matter how old you are. Now, it does have the factory wrapping, but it is still like an open box. Everything's in there. I just taped it shut, mostly just so I can get a good photo of it when I was taking pictures with it. But everything's inside, manual, all the feelies, and stuff. I think I have this one going with something. No. I'm thinking about a different one. And that different one is, excuse me, I'll come back to you. These ones here. So here is a nice minty copy of Riven, sequel to Myst, 1 million sold. It's got everything inside, open box, blah, blah, blah. Actually, is this open box? Yes, this one is. Still got the tape on it. But here's the cool one. It's being sold with Myst, which is, again, has the cellophane, the factory wrap on it, rather. Just open box. I do appreciate it when people do this, though. And if you do come across open box stuff, or like you buy new games, I'm not sure how much it affects now because everything's all digital now. But if it comes in plastic wrap, yeah, don't take it off and rip it off. Just like slice the top of it and keep it on there, because everything, you got to wait 30 years for it to be valuable again, but you'll be glad you did if you hang on to it. And another big reason I'm getting into these cartridge games and CD games and stuff is because everyone is so sick and tired and over streaming services and not owning what you're paying for. And well, I guess Steam's okay, but like you buy a game and it just keeps getting updated and updated, getting rid of features or changing features or just stuff you sometimes just don't want. And it's just like not the same game that you want. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, and I'm getting off on a rant here. I'm going like on like No Man's Sky and stuff. But anyway, the point is that I am rebelling against streaming services and digital media, and I want physical media again. I'm not sure if that's just like an old person thing, but here we are, Lands of Lore. Not the first one, which I really, really love, but this is the second one, Guardians of Destiny, which I don't think I have ever played nor watched. But everything is in there. I adore Lands of Lore 1. That's one of my favorite adventure games. And that one's got Patrick Stewart in it as the king, which is really the ticket. And the lady who plays the main bad guy is just delightful. I can listen to her be a bad person all day long. Okay, here are a few strategy guides and manuals and such. This is the big one, Legend of Dragoon. This one, it goes online for like $90. I have it posted for like 70 or so. Here's one for Reaches, which is a game I've never played before nor heard of. What else do we have in here? This is, oh yeah, this is poster, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, this is the Rob poster. It's the really big version because someone asked me that recently. It's like, what size is it? And then they asked me, will you take $1 for it? And I said, no. This is a manual for the NES hookup and information booklet. Now you're playing with superpower, so if you ever forget how to hook up your Super Nintendo to an old TV, it could really come in handy. And top secret Nintendo player's guide stuff. I love these old books. I have a bunch more over there that I'll show you in a little bit later, but top secret passwords. A lot of people had this one, myself included. I don't know why I went Swedish there for a moment, but you know, there we go. Everything's all set there. Oh, well, that's the majority of all the loose stuff that was over here. Here's one. Another box. We're getting to the end of it. Don't worry. This is the manual for Super Mario Brothers, which again is not that well. Why do I keep saying again? It's like I've never told. You know, I just assume everybody knows all the things I know. But you know, not super valuable on its own. Two things though. Normally, Super Mario Brothers is double with Duck Hunt, so it'll usually be the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, but very seldom on the other. The big one on this one, and I had to put this one up for like regular auction instead of buy it now because I literally do not know the value, if it's more valuable or not. But this one has this little star, and that star means it is a promotional copy, I think. And then it's got the R logo instead of TM or patent pending. It's got that all throughout the inside of the manual too, and I know that makes a difference. Whether it's not if it's a difference people care about, I don't know, but I have one. These are for, I guess, something that's kind of leapfrog-ish that Fisher Price made called the IXL. I know nothing about it, but I have 3 sealed games here if anybody does and collects them for whatever reason. I don't judge, I just sell. Okay, now okay. So this is where things get a little bit more complicated because a lot of these come with their manuals, but I have the manuals in a different box somewhere so they don't get wrinkled. But Game Boy Golf comes with a manual, football, baseball, and tennis. So 4 of the most boring Game Boy games, but they are in literal mint condition inside these cases. I think 2 of the cases are original, 2 of the cases are aftermarket, but those come with the manuals, which I can show off later if you wish. All right, yeah, and since I swore off disc media, I'm only getting things that are sealed, but I also can't be very choosy about what I get because A, they're expensive, and B, you don't find them very often. But here's a sealed copy of Wii Game Party, which I think I played back in the day, and it's actually not that bad. You know, it's no Wii Sports, but whatever. Here's the Wii game for the Simpsons game for the Wii. This is sealed. Is it sealed? Yes, it is sealed. Good. I was about to find out it wasn't sealed in live camera. Never played this one, but this is somewhat in demand, I think. So I get a lot of these games from Canadian auctions. One, because the US dollar, at least in this precise moment in time, is worth about, I don't know, it's 30% less than the Canadian dollar or whatever. So I tend to get a little good deal on it, but then shipping usually ends up making it just as bad. And here's a sealed copy of We Play, which I also did play quite a bit actually, and I really liked this game, the Find the Me thing. I would play that a whole bunch, like at night when I'm trying to get myself to go to sleep. I'll just like fall asleep trying to find the me. Actually, these are all not too bad. This is good. I think the pool game actually being not that bad either, but my memories are not fantastic. What is this? I think these are just some manuals. Yeah, control deck manual for the NES, the 4-score, and the consumer informations booklet. Selling those together as a set. Here I got a lot of Mega Drive stuff. Here's a copy of Zillion 2, which has everything you need. It's also in extremely good condition. I will take all of these cartridges apart, no matter what they look like, and I will always go inside and I will clean the contacts with not alcohol, but with deoxit, just because I think it's a little bit gentler. And I don't have anything I can test it on, but it's in beautiful condition, so I have no reason to think it would not. And sticking with that, I don't have any cover art for this one. I was considering printing some, but here's a copy of Afterburner for the Sega Master System. Ready to go. Everything's in mint condition except for the manual. That's a little wrinkly for some reason. That's a bummer, but they have not yet invented an iron gentle enough for paper. Here's Gotcha for the NES. Never played this one, but it's in very good shape except for this logo damage down here. The inside is really great. I took care of that. Actually, I think I cleaned this up over the weekend. That's a new one. And How to Train Your Dragon 2, 3DS. They're making another remake of How to Train Your Dragon. They're going with live action again that nobody asked for. Disney. Genesis version Golden Axe. Now, Golden Axe, well, is an awesome game, especially like in the arcades. It's wonderful. But every single copy of Golden Axe, regardless of the console or the format or whatever, all has the worst box art ever. Like, I'm not sure how well this comes through here, but this guy and her, just it's real life building. Look, there's not even like a hilt on her sword. Look at that. The old dwarf guy looks all right though. But yeah, I mean, look it up. All the, as far as I know, all the box art for all the Golden Axe games are so wretched. Now this is a mystery I've been trying to solve since I got this in like a year ago. It's the Japanese version of Winning 11-7, which is a soccer game, international. Everything's in great shape, manual, disc. It's in great shape, except that you do need a, it's not NTSC, it's just, NTSC Japan. Okay, so if you have a jailbroken one, you can play it. But this was autographed by someone. It's a circle with a 33. Looks like it says RAD, rad, and then it's got the signature. And I've been trying to figure out, like, is it number 33 a player for someone? Like, I went through the manual to find out who's number 33. Who does anyone have the nickname Rad? Like, me and ChatGPT spent days trying to figure out who this is, and we still don't know. So I didn't want to sell it without knowing who it was. It's like, is it more valuable? Is it less valuable? Having the signature on it. It's on the plastic at least. Is it on the plastic? Yeah, it's on the plastic. But thankfully, it's very indelible. But if you know who this could possibly be, please let me know, because I went through every single Japanese soccer team from the era. I looked up the number 33 player on every team in like the decade plus and minus to figure out who this is. I don't know. So I'll tell you what, if you can solve this mystery, I will not only send you this, but I think I will, maybe I'll send you like a little extra bonus too. But just the mystery of it all is really, really the ticket. Doesn't make it any more valuable, but what does? This is a copy of PS1 Fighting Force. Again, gotten at the point where before I learned my lesson of not to sell disc media. But this one seems to be in pretty good shape with a PlayStation 1 because it's a little easier to tell if these are damaged because of the black back. Like every little teeny mark shows up. So, and from what I remember, I think the PlayStation 1 was pretty reliable. Even when reading messed up games, it would still read them just fine. Let's see. Here's a copy of Radar Mission for the Game Boy, which also comes with its own manual. Here's some Genesis stuff. This is Streets of Rage 1 and Battletoads versus Double Dragon. I was excited to get this one, but I think it's the Super Nintendo version that's really valuable and not the Genesis version. But it's still, these are actually, I think these are both still collectible. Oh, we still got some tape on there. I gotta get off. All right, well, time to break out the Goo Gone. But again, great shape, cleaned inside and out. This is neat. I just think it's neat. The anime tarot guide and tarot deck rather and guidebook. So this is made by Insight, and it's a real labor of love. These things, like they're all drawn by like their own artists, and there's this guy. It's really neat. They're still on sale. You can still find these. This has been up since the company was founded, so I just keep lowering the price and just hoping this can find like a good home because I don't know. I like to support small business and people trying new things. But there's a lot more information on the eBay page, so highly recommend it if you're into tarot or even if you're not into tarot. Now here, this one's really confusing. This is a game from Steve Jackson called Ninja Burger, which has been updated several times. I think this is the first or maybe second edition. It is a card game. All the cards are still sealed. You got your ninja dice and your instructions in there. Apparently there's some kind of controversy with Steve Jackson and his games, which I'm not really aware of. So this is, again, has been one of those things that I've had since day one. But if you guys want to play Ninja Burger, I got a really good copy of it. All right, we're almost down to the end of this box, and I can show you some of the new stuff that I'm still working on, and then I'll let you guys go. So this is Genesis. I usually don't collect Genesis stuff, but if it's there in a good shape, I will. Shining in the Darkness, which I think is kind of RPG-ish. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. I did a lot of retouching on this label as well, and this came out really nicely, but it is cleaned inside and out. Vectorman, which I've never played. This one didn't need any retouching, thankfully. This is the greatest hits, or the mega hit series, as Genesis likes to call it. Clean inside and out. Vectorman T2, same thing. I thought it was called T2 Arena for a second. It's like, oh wow, is this going like the Quake Arena route? But no, I think that's just the name of the publisher. Same deal. It looks faded, but I actually think that's just the way it was. It's got more blue in it, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's the arcade game, basically. It's like one of those games that you'd see in the window of like your video rental store and the sun fades it out. This one's cool. Earthworm Jim 2. I love the Earthworm Jim games. They're ridiculously hard, but I love them because they have a lot of spirit. This one cleaned up really well. There's a little bit of residue here I still need to get off, but sometimes I'm a little worried about damaging the art underneath, so I don't want to push too hard. So it's not really noticeable. It's probably noticeable here because I'm shooting in like natural sunlight. WrestleMania, the arcade game, Genesis. Same thing, cleaned inside out. I'm sure it works perfectly fine. I would check Sega Genesis. I can check Nintendo, and I can check Super Nintendo, and I can check Game Boy, Advance, DS, 3DS, but not Genesis, because every time I get a Genesis in, I clean it up and I post it, it sells in like 24 hours, and I really need to keep like one I can test. Here's a not for resale version of Sonic the Hedgehog #1. Same deal, cleaned up, looking pretty. Here's a sought after one, Rocket Knight Adventures. This one's a bit more rare. Never played it, but it's in near mint condition. So if you ever want a copy, got you covered. And here's one of the rare Sega Genesis games that I actually did play, because I think a friend of mine had it. World of Illusion with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. I remember this being pretty good. Or was it Castle of Illusion? It was something of Illusion. I don't remember. But usually the Disney games, particularly on Genesis, really the ticket, because and especially with the Aladdin game, because they had Disney animators and Disney artists work on this because they're really protective of their IP and they don't want Sega to screw it up. So I assume they did the same with this one. That's why this game is actually good. And let's see, this is a recent pickup. I just got this one cleaned up and ready to go. It's a Switch controller from PowerA, because PowerA makes everything. Yep, it's a great controller. I just love the retro aesthetic of it. Not only from this like little stripy thing that they have going on here, but the fact that the back is purple and yellow, just I adore it. Works great. Power's on. Switch works. And then the last thing I have in this box is, if you have an Xbox 360 that you still want to connect to internets, here's a brand new dual channel wireless N adapter. I only had the single channel one when I had one, but just the fact that they made you buy this instead of building it in to the 360, I'll die salty about that, Microsoft. Okay, so that's the last of those. So everything else is new stuff that I have not posted yet, so you'll be the first to see it. Aren't you excited? Just give me a second. All right, here's pile number one. A lot of these are boxed copies of things. Here's a copy of Clutch Hitter for the Sega Game Gear. Now, I do have, actually, let me show you, a boxed Game Gear. It's basically new in box, but they bought it and they said it's not working. I turned it on and it powers on just fine. Like, I had to turn the brightness up. It's like maybe the guy just did not know to turn the brightness up and couldn't see. But it has no sound, and apparently bad audio chips are pretty common with these things. So I ordered a new audio board, and I'm going to drop it in there, because replacing the capacitors on this board, because their surface mount, is well beyond my ability at this point. But I got another board for not that much, so I'm going to drop that in there when it arrives, and I can put that up. And I'm probably going to sell it with Clutch Hitter and a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Game Gear. And actually, you know what, just to sweeten the deal a little bit further, well, balls, but around here somewhere I have one of those Sega Game Gear carrying cases. I don't know where it is at the moment. It's around here somewhere, but I'll probably sell all that together, the Game Gear, the case, the two games. And I think everything's over there, but it's got Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Gear in there as well. That's the game that came with it. So hopefully I'll have that one done shortly. That's the thing with these handhelds, especially with Sega. I'm learning very quickly that Sega just, everything they do is so janky. Like, I opened up a copy of, I don't know, one of their Genesis games. I think it was like the WrestleMania game. And there were so many like jumper wires all over it and weird soldering, and there's flux all over the board. And I was like, did someone mod this? Like, who would want to mod a copy of WrestleMania? So I went on Reddit and I was checking, and it's like, does anybody know why? And it's like, yeah, this is Sega. They probably screwed something up and they had to do that in the factory. So you got just jumper wires all over the place. I'm like, yeah, well done, Sega. You and your boards that don't work. Anyway, let's stop dumping on Sega and start selling stuff that are Sega. This is a game called Zoom, which I don't know, but it's in mint condition because probably nobody played it. Nobody wanted to play it, but here it is. I know zero about it. And I think I'm bundling that with like just rando PGA Tour, golf, Jack Nicklaus, whatever game that nobody particularly wants by itself, but there it is. Some of the games that people do want is Tasmania. I love me some Tasmania. No, I don't think I ever played the game, at least not on Genesis, but again, minty condition, manual, game, opened up, and I guess this must have come out on Super Nintendo, because I remember playing it. I remember breathing fire. Oh, they made a big deal that they have sound bites on this one. Signs, signs saying ouch, and never mind. Not very fascinating, but Taz, it's a good game. Mr. Spider-Man. This is just Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man. Nothing fancy, no subtitles, no colons, no nothing. But again, mint condition, manual. Got the game cartridge in there, all cleaned up and ready to roll. Here's an interesting one. Here's a game for the 32X, which is the Sega enhancement module thing. Same thing. Everything's in the box. It's got the little insert and everything that has the game in it. Manual and everything is, well, it's inside. Can't really see it. But if you have a 32X, I think one of the, how many games did the 32X did they make? I don't think it was all that many. But I have one. Let's see. I got a few more things over here. Oh, I better not keep these. I don't want to get these mixed up because I still have to post these. Yeah. Okay, I think these are the last little bits of stuff. I literally think that's everything. But here's my giant box full of manuals. I'm gonna flip through them real quick, but they're all on the eBay site if you want to catch them in. And I think they're all buy one get 10% off, buy two get 20% off. There's all the Game Boy manuals I was talking about for radar mission, baseball, football. Really good condition, by the way. Not a mark on them, not yet anyway. Golf, Donkey Kong 64, which I thought I had a copy of. Here's a spare map for Link to the Past, which came with it. And speaking of which, here is a copy of Link to the Past that comes with the manual. And no, you're Donkey Kong Country. I think it was supposed to be you. There you go. Boop. I was always hoping I came across a box for one of these, but they're very expensive, and I haven't. But it comes with everything but the box. And also in here, I have Diddy Kong Racing 64. Again, if you want to replace the label, you can. And here's Donkey Kong Country. You were supposed to go with these together. Yeah, I think originally I thought this was Donkey Kong 64, but it's Diddy Kong Racing, which is still a really good game, but still kind of a bummer. This is the fold-out map for Cruising USA. It's huge. There's a picture of it online. Wave Race 64. Here's a funky one. I don't think I even posted this. So if anybody wants it as a bonus, if you buy something, let me know. But this is kind of like a graphic novel that came with Beowulf the game with Neil Gaiman and Roger Avery. Here's the manual for Lost Kingdoms 2. There is a big old bidding war happening for this one. So if you want that one, you're going to have to be fast. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 Trials to Glory, Kirby's Dream Land for Game Boy, Dr. Mario, woohoo! Game Boy Mortal Kombat 2. What's this one? Oh, yeah, these are big ones. So these I'm selling together. This is for Dragon Warrior 4, also known as Dragon Quest 4 for the rest of the world, 1992. But these are the manuals, or the maps and stuff that came with Dragon Quest 4. It took a lot of work to get these back together, but these are super, super valuable. So I treat these with a lot of care. Maps for Dragon Quest 4. I actually want to collect the Dragon's Quest games because I finally beat the first one not too long ago. I have a lead on the second one, and actually I found the third and fourth ones for decent prices, but I can't afford those right now because I've kind of gone overboard or way over budget. So one day I will. Here's a poster for Maniac Mansion for the NES, I believe. I got the full picture on eBay. Killer Instinct 64, Star Fox 64, Virtua Cop for Saturn, Virtua Fighter 2 for Saturn, WrestleMania 2000. I thought I sold this one. Oh, no, it's a different WrestleMania game. But anyway, Sega 64, GameCube manual, rather, Sega Saturn, Sega Rally, the Super Nintendo instruction manual itself, Sonic 3D Blast for Genesis, Super Mario 3D World, Cruising World, NHL 99, a revision of the Game Genie Super Nintendo version that has more bonus Street Fighter 2 codes. So that's really neat. You can probably find those online, but if you want a physical copy. So this one was actually stuck inside of another manual, and I had to, fish it out. Never heard of it. Virtual On Cyber Troopers, but I have the manual for it if you want it. And here is the original Super Mario World, Mortal Kombat 3 for Super Nintendo, Daytona, let's go away. I unironically still listen to that song, love that song. Here's one for F-Zero X, but it's missing the cover. But if you do pick up this one, just do keep in mind that you're also inheriting a $5 fine. So if you ever remember where this was, you do owe them $5 plus interest. It's probably a couple $100 by now. And I think lastly, and I don't know if I'm going to sell this with the Game Gear or not, but this is a screen widener, which is aka just a lens that you stick in front of your Genesis to make the screen a little bit bigger. Now the Genesis, I actually had, not Genesis, Game Gear. I actually had one of these and I hated it. I had Sonic and I think I had like Jurassic Park or one of those games. But this thing would slurp up batteries so fast that I remember like I could play it for maybe an hour or two and then it's dead. So like I would need to carry like the special battery pack they made for it because they knew the batteries sucked. It's like, oh, they gotta borrow the battery pack here. But also they knew the screen was crap, so they made the official Sega Game Gear screen magnifier. Invent the problem, sell the solution. I think that is most of it. There's still that Sega Genesis bag, which is around here somewhere. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is a mess right now. All right, so here's one last little cool thing that I picked up. It still needs a little bit more repair. It works, but I think mostly I just need a 9-volt battery because I don't have one. But this is the Star Wars Comtech, and it comes with these little RFID thingies, and all these buttons will make some sort of Star Wars pew pew sound. And when you hold up one of these chips to this, it will play like a different sound. Whether or not it's actually relevant to the character on display, I don't know. One thing that confuses me about these things is like this, like there's the chip, there's the picture. We all get that. Obi-Wan Kenobi status Jedi Knight apprentice to Qui-Gon Jinn, number 15. So I got like maybe 8 or 9 of these things. It's got this little hole here, which is fine, but what the heck is this stupid little peg for? This is driving me nuts because I can't like stack them to like put them together. Like I can do it like this, and they all just kind of like hang together a little bit, but it's no way to live. Anyway, that's the most of it. I have a few other small bits and bobs coming in over the next week or two, but this should be most of it. I know I missed something, but if I did, it's already up on eBay or will be shortly. If you guys have any questions on any of these things, just reach out to me directly at, I guess, actually, no, just put it in the comments here. So this is one of the few videos I'll actually read the comments on because it's relevant, relevant to my interest. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I do have a couple like Mario stuffies around somewhere. One of them I actually sold for like 150, like $200 or something, which is great. I restored it, but I have a few more and I'll have not posted them because they're just a pain in the ass. I do have a Amy Rose plushie as well, which is like, it's got to be like 3 feet tall. It's ridiculous, but it's very floppy. It needs to be restuffed, so I can do that, but it'll take me some time, and I just have not had said time. So, like I said, please go visit the eBay page, Pin and Pixel Games. That's a me. The link will be down below. If you have any questions on any of these things, please do not hesitate to reach out. If I can't really afford to give out like any discounts on most of this stuff, so but everything on the eBay page is or best offer. So you have that price there, and then you can always offer like a little bit less, and then we can kind of argue back and forth a little bit until someone finally gives in, or I just say screw off. But I won't do that because you're my friends, and who would dare? Actually, that reminds me. So if you do make an offer on eBay for any of these things, please put in the comments that you are one of my YouTube buddies. So this way I will not be nearly as harsh with you on the price as I would with anyone else. I think that's just about everything. Thank you for hanging out. And how long have I been going on? For like an hour or so? Oh, Jesus Christ, I've been here for 2 hours. How did that happen? Anyway, yeah, I just feel like I was going to be repeating myself. I'm just like one of those people who just does not know how to end a video. So I will just say, good night, jelly beans. Good night.